Hi everyone. So we're going to just give you a little bit of guided step-by-step practice on your EE4 adding scientific notations page. I'm going to skip around a little bit. Hopefully you've completed all of the problems on this page before you refer to this key. I don't want to do all of the easy ones, so I'm going to skip 1 and 2 and move into number 3. So we're going to go ahead and look at our exponents and say that they're obviously not common, and I'm going to take my smaller exponent and turn it into the larger one. So 3 is going to become 4, and we do this by adding 1, which means that I am going to add a space to my first factor. My new first factor is 0.51 times 10 to the 4th power. We're going to add that to 1.7 times 10 to the 4th power. And now that I have this and I have my common exponent, I can just add my first factor. And of course, always go back to your calculator to double check your work. Do not want to just assume that the computation looks easy, so you're going to go ahead and just work it out in your head. Don't try to do that. We don't need to make little mistakes like that. So we have 0.51 plus 1.7. That gives me 2.21 and times 10 to the 4th power. And this problem is in correct scientific notation because I brought the smaller exponent to the larger one. So in doing that, I don't have to convert at the end. Alright, let's take a look. I'm looking for something with negatives. Number 5 looks pretty interesting, so we're going to go ahead and work on that one. Identify your exponents. And I have a -2 and a -3. Well, -3 is smaller, so I'm going to take that -3 and turn it into a -2. We do this by adding 1, which means I'm adding 1 decimal place here. So this is 0.24 times 10 to the -2nd power. And then I have 6.91 times 10 to the -2nd power here. Looking back at my exponents, just do a double check, and they are common. So now I'm going to add my first factor, 6.91 plus 0.24, and that gives me 7.15. which is between 1 and 10. So this is times 10 to the -2nd power. And now this is complete. And I think that we can go ahead and do one more. Let me see if there's something just a little bit more complicated. And I think number 10 is probably the most difficult one on your paper here. So let's look at number 10. So looking at my exponents, I have a 1 and I have a -2. Well, clearly the -2 is the smaller one, but we want to be really careful when we're bringing that up to match the 1. So -2, in order to turn it into a 1, we are going to be adding 3 spaces. So I'm going to take my first factor here and move 1, 2, 3, and add your zeros in. So my new first factor is 0.00601 times 10 to the 1st power. And I'm going to rewrite my first scientific notation. So 6.23 times 10 to the 1st power. Do a double check. Exponents are the same, so we are going to add our first factor. Pretty lengthy decimal, so I'm going to enter that in. 6.23 plus 0.00601 and that gives you 6.23601 times 10 to the first power. And you are done. Hopefully this helps you. If you have any additional questions, feel free to shoot me an email or come and find me, located usually in E128 or in E119.